Hey guys, so today we're making some Kentucky butter cake. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's get started with the recipe. So I'm going to start with 2 sticks of unsalted butter that I let come to room temperature. And so I'm just going to add this to my stand mixer. You could also use a hand mixer if you want. And along with the butter, I'm also going to add in a half a cup of butter flavored shortening. And so this is going to be like just half of this block of shortening as you see here, and I'm gonna cream this with my butter until everything is nice and smooth. And this recipe is inspired by Divas Can Cook. I'll be sure to link her video and channel below. Um, but so after you cream the butter and the shortening, you're gonna add in your eggs and your sugar. So you're gonna alternate adding the eggs and sugar, and you're gonna add the eggs one at a time and wait till it's combined, and then you're gonna add the sugar, and you're just gonna keep alternating between the two until everything is nice and fluffy. And let me just tell y'all how good this cake was. Um, and so I had a little bit of this, and it was just so flavorful, especially with the rum extract that I added in there. And if you want, you can add in some actual rum or brandy for some additional flavor. But I think this would be the perfect dessert for the upcoming holidays, or if you just like pound cake or anything like that. I think this would be a great suggestion or great addition to your dessert menu. I had really I had a lot of fun making this cake, and although most of it went in the freezer, it freezes really well. I wrapped it in some plastic wrap and then wrapped it in foil and put it in some freezer bags, and so you can easily freeze this in and just kind of take it out one slice at a time if you want. And so after you mix your eggs and sugar, you're gonna add in 2 teaspoons of some vanilla extract, as well as about a fourth of a teaspoon of some rum extract. And so after you add in your extracts, you're gonna add in your dry ingredients. And so I have I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and I'm gonna add in a teaspoon of baking powder, as well as about a half a teaspoon of some salt. And if you used salted butter, you don't need to add salt at this step. But I'm just gonna whisk that together until it's combined, and then I'm gonna add the dry ingredients to my butter, egg, and sugar mixture, and I'm going to alternate that with some buttermilk. So you need 1 cup of buttermilk, and so I added in my flour, and y'all, I sped up the video. So when you add your flour, your mixer should really be on low so that all the flour doesn't, fly out of your mixer. But I'm just alternating this with the flour and the buttermilk until everything is nice and combined. And you want to make sure that you scrape the sides along the way so that everything is getting nice and combined in the cake. And so with the holidays coming up, what are some of y'all favorite desserts to have for like Thanksgiving, Christmas, or any holiday that you celebrate? And so typically I try to make some kind of cake. I'm thinking I might try to make an apple pie because I don't think I've ever made like an actual pie on the channel. I've made like peach hand pies and an apple hand pie, but I wanted to make an actual like a full pie. I most likely will not be making sweet potato pie because I don't even like sweet potatoes like that. But I'm curious to know what other people typically have on the holidays for dessert. And so you want to mix it until your mixture is nice and combined and fluffy like this. And then you're going to grease your Bundt can. I'm not can, Bundt pan. I'm using the anniversary Bundt pan, and I'm just going to spray it with some Baker's Joy. And you want to make sure you spray it really well so that your cake can come out nice and clean. And so I'm just going to add the cake batter to this pan, and you want to make sure that you smooth it out and clean up any of the edges if you need to. Hit it on the counter a few times, and then we're going to bake this in the oven And I'll put all the information in the description box below. But as the cake bakes, we're gonna make the syrup, the butter syrup that goes along with the cake. And so I'm adding in a stick and a half of unsalted butter, and then I'm also gonna add in 1.5 cups of granulated sugar. And this is really just gonna be like a glaze type of syrup, that because I'm gonna poke holes in the cake, and I'm also gonna reserve a little bit of this to brush on top of the cake. And so I added in 1/3 cup of water. And once all of this starts to bubble a little bit and get a little bit thicker, I'm going to turn the heat off, and I'm going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla extract and a half a teaspoon of rum extract. And so if you want to add like brandy or rum instead of the water for the syrup, you can do that. Just don't put the water in. You can put the brandy or rum in its place to get some additional flavor. And so I'm going to reserve about 1/2 cup of my butter syrup just to brush on top of my cake. And the rest of it is um, gonna get inside of the cake once I poke the holes in it. And so I cooked my cake in a 325-degree oven for about an hour, 15 hour, 20 minutes. And you want to stick a toothpick just to make sure it's done. And so when you poke your cake, be sure not to poke all the way through, because you don't want your butter syrup to go all the way through to the bottom of the pan. And so you're gonna do this as soon as it comes out of the oven. So I'm just ladling the butter syrup all over the cake, and then this is the reserved butter that I'm gonna keep on the stove because I'm gonna have to reheat it so that I can spread it. But I'll let my cake rest on a wire rack just until I'm able to handle the pan without a without a towel, and then I'm gonna flip it over and let it rest some more on this wire rack. And so once the cake has once it was cool enough for me to brush the remainder of the butter syrup on there, I'm just going to brush it on there and let it sit some more until it hardens up a little bit. And this baby is done, y'all. I'm just going to slice a piece, and that's going to be that on that. But this was very flavorful. I will say it's very rich because, I mean, it's a butter cake after all. But all in all, it has some really great flavor, and I think you guys will definitely enjoy this recipe. And so this is what it looks like. Just look at all that delicious butter syrup in the middle of the cake, and then we have the butter syrup on the outside. Nice and buttery, nice and flavorful, and you really do get that rum flavor from the rum extract. Nice and soft. Y'all see how that is. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.